Two team members, two groups, I think. The motion is they have to believe that juvenile criminals should be strictly punished. Therefore, this group is a proposition group, and this group is an opposition group. Therefore, you have 10 minutes to get in, prepare yourself for the debate, and then you can start. Next point, you can read these individuals. The time for preparation is up. Therefore, I'm going to call upon the two teams to the front. Just would you sit over here, please? You three. There's one chair here. Then, first, come with your chair. Okay, good. I'm working as, or I'm acting as a chair, but not going to introduce your friends, but simply just I will introduce the motion, and probably I will just invite the first speakers to introduce their group members. Well, today we have a session. Today is, I think it's January 12, 2009, yeah? So we have a motion on the House believe that juvenile delinquency should strictly be punished. This is our motion. So on the proposition side, we have here team members at the right, at the left, and here we have a member from the opposition group. Now, just I leave the floor for the first speakers of the proposition team. So you are expected to introduce yourself as well as your friends too. And even from the opposition team, the first speaker will introduce him or herself, and then is responsible to introduce also his member, his team member. Now the floor is open for the first speaker of the proposition team. Thank you. As much as possible to try to speak loud.
Okay, good morning. I am Michael Blakely from the proposition group, which the House believes that juvenile criminals should be punished. I have my friend Nadia, and she's busy. So, first, the House believes that juvenile criminals should be strictly punished. I want to emphasize on that. I want to define first what juvenile criminal meaning and punishment meaning. Juvenile means unpleasantly childish or young people doing crimes. So, when we define juvenile criminals, is that someone as a child should be punished, or assume some some student or just plagiarizing in a class. So they should be shaped from the base, or in our culture, someone should be based from the basis, or from its mental childness, or from its youngest mind. So it should be shaped both mentally and physically, so as to behave good for the future. And oneself depends on the past actions. One's future life depends on the past actions. So someone should not have done some criminals in the past. So like childish or young people should not do this criminal thing. So punishment, when we define punishment, it is something, or it may be by imprisonment, or you may be expected to pay some bills for your wrongdoing. So it has to do when we define punishment, it is something, or it may be imprisonment or paying a fine. which is to compensate for one's or his or her wrongdoing. So especially for the crimes. So it is punishment is the act of punishing for the wrongdoing so as to do good for the future. So young people should be punished or they should be strictly punished. When we ask why, or when you just ask why should we be punished, or you may ask like their child, so they should be punished, or they're not mentally like full. So it has to be shaped both mentally and physically at the basis. And culturally and socially, we don't help or like we don't support the idea of just wait. So socially or culturally, some peoples or in young peoples they should be shaped from the basis. So when punishments are used, and I just want you to look punishment not only in the wrongdoing but also for good things. Punishment should be taken for not only for good things, they should be taken as a good for, because punishment is when you punish someone, it makes that or that someone or he or she believes that to not do that thing again. So they should be shaped. I just want you to emphasize on the base. They should be shaped mentally so as to not to repeat that action, that wrongdoing. So, for example, let us take an example. If a student plagiarizes an assignment or a test, I hope you guys don't plagiarize, but just assume some student plagiarizing an assignment, then the teacher will punish him by giving F or FFX, or it may punish him so that student will never ever plagiarize. So someone or some young people, they should be punished so as to make their futures cool. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The first speaker of the proposed team, actually, I should just tell you some guidelines. We have regions, and they will show you when you have 1 minute remaining. Therefore, you should have an eye contact with those regions. And we have likely that to have 5 minutes. Everyone will have 5 minutes before you have to use that time. Well, now I will invite the first speakers of the opposition team. The floor is for you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Sarah from the opposition group, and here are my friends Wengshat and Hannah. The House believes that, or the House opposes the idea that juvenile criminals should be punished strictly. First, to define a juvenile criminal for the purpose of this debate means young criminals who commit minor crimes, especially crime against property. Strict punishment for the purpose of this debate means punishing them strictly, so tightly or so strongly. This House believes that they should not be punished strictly because they are young and they are the futures of a country. And punishing them strictly would initiate them for revenge, and it would initiate them to become a bad person. And as they are young and not grown up enough, they cannot stand a strong punishment. We can say that it's right to punish them with a little punishment, but we should not punish them so strictly. We should not punish them so strictly because the motion said that punishing them strictly does not say punishing them.
Okay. What is like? Can you define strictly? I mean, like you are just supporting our ideas. I mean, strictly punishing means obeying the rules. So how could that just danger one's country? You just say that.
Strictly punishing them. Strict means so tightly, so strongly, punishing them so strongly. They are young, they are kids, they are teenagers, they are the futures of a country. So strictly punishing them is not a good thing for them, for their mind. We can say to shape them, but to shape them, we should teach. We could teach them. We could tell them to do the right thing. We should not just teach them to do a good thing. We should not make them think that one person to do a good thing, I should be punished if I have to do a good thing. They don't have to grow up taking this idea.
Okay, thank you. The first speaker of the opposition team. Now we invite the second speakers of the opposition team.
important to develop the one country. I mean to say that if he punish them, they will be active in their education, in their job, and in their any other kinds of business. That means that if they get that punishment, they will not back to that thing, that wrong duties, that wrong duties. So they fully active in their education, in their social activities, and they shape themselves by good behavior. That good behavior will increase their attendance and increase their potential to their education. If they have free mind, they can just actively participate in many things. Okay.
And do you think that only punishment is the way to correct criminals?
Yes, I think that because criminals. So when we say that criminals means not in bad way, but it is not to punish them and to learn from their problems. To just learn that punishment means, I think, in my point of view, punishment means to give love. Yeah, just that. If you don't learn them, they will not go back from that criminal things. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you say that it will help to develop our country, right? How can we develop our country by punishing those kind of criminals? Because they're not going to do something, right? We're punishing them instead of doing some job. So how can it be possible to make our country?
Yeah, I think that because punishing is the important thing that must be done by punishing you from their parents, punishing from their teachers, punishing from any political from their.
My point was, we are punishing them.
Yeah.
We are not giving them some job to do.
No.
So is the way for developing is punishing or doing something?
Okay, I understand. Punishing is the main way to develop our country, because when we punish them, we learn them to behave their behaviors. So if they behave their behaviors, they will they will have good behaviors and they will develop their country. They can agree with their environment, agree with their environment, agree with their friends, so they can develop, they can make agreement with the society. So this thing only, if you consider this thing only, they can develop their country, they make good life, they love each other with other persons.
All right. Thank you, second speaker of the opposition team. Now the floor is open for the second speaker of the opposition team.
Okay, thank you very much. We really support by saying that those juvenile criminals should be strictly punished. You guys need you to focus on the points that we're going to raise, because we're talking about the uses and the word strictly punishment, right? So when we talk about uses are early, in an early age, those who are in the early age. So early by itself pushes something to do, because early refers to the fire age. We all know that early ages are fire age. So when we talk about those uses or fire age things, they are early to differentiate what's good and bad. Even they are doing something considered as bad, the way to make them correct is about teaching, not punishing, whatever strictly punishing. So we don't have a doubt about shaping, but we are talking about the way that we're going to shape them. Of course, in any way, it shouldn't be shaping shouldn't be like punishing or strictly punishing. So rather than that punishing, we advise you, or we are opposing you by putting the points like advising, trying to tolerate them, and try to tell them what's really good and bad. So they don't even have, when we, imagine users, they have a beautiful mind, beautiful energy. So why would we
let those beautiful minds to go down. Then instead of getting down, we have to make them more beautiful than they was before. So then instead of punishing, it would be better to teach or to motivate them to do good things.
Okay, I think you guys just like misunderstand the definitions of misanded or like punishment and strictly obeying. Strictly or like punishment is or strictly means obeying the rules. So how could you think every stage or you just say 5 stages are like to determine the good ones and the bad ones? How could you think a country was full of criminals if there are no check at the places? How could you think a country was full of criminals? That's the point. How could you think like that? I mean,
Okay, I'm obligated to answer you question by question. So how could you think punishing those criminals strictly could make a country?
well, I got the answer for that. Punishment
I
should
also
not be
got the
seen.
answer for that.
Okay, punishment should not be seen as a. I just say that punishment means like when punishment are used properly, they can be good for her or his or
Thank you
her
very much.
wrongdoing.
Thank you very much.
for
We're
her
talking about
future
the
is-
correct punishment, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about the correct punishment.
Yeah.
So we are telling you what the correct punishments are.
So they should be strictly punished. You're saying.
Of course not, because strictly punishing and
Yeah.
punishing in a proper way are
So-
very different. Our member tried to define what strictly punishing means, and you are defining punishment, right?
No.
So,
I'm not defining punishment.
okay,
I'm
so you are
defining-
trying to shaping me to
No.
define punishment.
No.
Of
I'm
course,
just
yeah.
saying the reality that strictly means that obeying the rules. So someone should be like.
Okay,
obeying the
anyways, we oppose the House believe that juveniles criminals should be punished. Thank you very much.
Agreed. That's interesting and fascinating. But as you have said before, of course, I raise it as a comment how we approach for a point of information. And also, thank you, the second speaker of the opposition team. Now the floor is for the third speaker of the opposition team.
Thank you. I'm going to be summarizing about the fact that we were saying that juvenile delinquents should be strictly punished. As a definition, juveniles are young people who have committed crimes, and someone should be shaped mentally to behave properly when they are kids at the base. So the society will be affected because of them if they don't behave properly. One point that you have to take. Juvenile delinquents are the youth, and they are the ones that the country is relying on. And if they are not strictly punished when they commit a crime, the society will be generally in danger. If the youth is not contributing to the society won't develop. One thing, and they are punished to teach the others, the other users that it's a wrong act or doing. And in social context, the society does not appreciate this kind of acts. Our culture does not appreciate this kind of acts, so this kind of acts should be strictly punished. And punishments, when used appropriately, can help to convince not to do something like that for the juveniles and from certain types of bad behavior. Punishments work when they must quickly follow on the offense and be applied fairly. The other point, punishment should not be seen as intended to harm the students or the juvenile but rather as part of a consistent rule system that encourages certain behaviors or discourages the others. Punishments are designed to reduce that behavior in the future. And when they are punished, there won't be any physical abuse, to be honest, and there is no harm. But they learn there, they do jobs, and that's all. Mostly the juveniles do the crimes are mostly the murders, so this has to be punished. The crimes they do are mostly murders. So if someone can learn from the punishment that the juveniles are taking, so there will be any consequence.
Are you saying that juvenile criminals do commit a crime of homicide? can we say that they do murder another
As a general,
person?
it's mostly a murder to juvenile delinquent. Juvenile acts are mostly murders.
I don't think youngs do commit a murder of homicide or they do murder another person. And even if we say that, you say they should be punished strictly, and again you say it does not mean abusing them.
But
If
when
we
they
say
are
strictly punishing
punished,
them, we are giving a way to say to punish them in any way. We're saying that.
we are not punishing them mentally. I mean, there's no physical abuse, as I said. They are punished to be a better person, not to be not to do other stuff. To be a better person, to learn, to teach the other users not to do this kind of things. So I guess it's a very good way of teaching the others users.
Okay, what kind of punishment do you suggest for juvenile criminals who commit homicide?
They are put in a I guess it's, the name is juvie, I guess, and they are set in that place. They don't go out. They maybe they're visitors or something. They do I guess they learn. They do works. Yes, juveniles they do works, and they there is some way that they can learn from their mistakes. They do things to make them learn from their mistakes.
Okay, one last point. Do you support the idea that separating a young or a teenager from their family
Yes.
is a great idea?
They are going to be shaped in that
They
proper
be
way.
mentally a good person.
Yeah, I guess.
Thumbs up.
And
Okay, thank you to the speaker of the proposition now. We have one speaker from the last speaker from the opposition team. So, stage first.
Thank you for giving this golden opportunity. I'm from the opposition group. First of all, we shouldn't use punishment as the priority mechanism to correct childish or juveniles. Juvenile criminals should not be punished strictly, but they should to be treated rather than strictly punishing them, because since they are teenagers, they have a chance to change if we recommend, if we give them a recommend or treatment, because they are teenagers. They give what we, they receive what we give them. The next point is they are not responsible, but the responsible should take by their family or the society.
You know what that is. Whom you are asking for. I think